One of Animal Crossing New Horizons' biggest new features is Island Designer, an app for the in-game Nook phone that lets you terraform your island to your liking. In this video, I'll show you how to unlock the Island Designer app and how to use it effectively. First up, let's unlock this thing. Island Designer is a later game feature, so there's a few steps you need to take over at least 2 weeks of playtime in order to unlock it. You need to have unlocked the Resident Services building and begun Tom Nook's Project K assignment, which requires you to build a campsite, invite the first camper to live on your island, build 3 housing plots following his instructions, get 3 villagers to move into those houses, 1 per day, and get your island to a 3-star rating. Project K will take quite a few days to complete, plus the time and effort it takes to decorate your island and improve your rating. Luckily, as long as you plant flowers and trees and put some furniture here and there, you should be able to get to 3 stars pretty easily once you've improved your population numbers. The day after you've reached 3 stars, Tom Nook will give you the Island Designer app on your Nook phone. At first, you'll only have access to the path tool and 2 types of paths, grass and dirt, but you can unlock more path options, the waterscaping tool, and the cliff construction tool with Nook Miles. Each additional path type costs 2,000 Nook Miles, with the exception of the custom design path, which costs 2,300. This will let you use any custom design as a path. You can unlock each of the additional path styles at the Nook Stop machine in Resident Services. You can unlock the ability to waterscape and, separately, the ability to build cliffs at any time after you've received the Island Designer app. Each permit costs 6,000 Nook Miles and can be redeemed at the Nook Stop machine in Resident Services. Before you really get going with Island Designer, you'll want to familiarize yourself with all the tools. The app itself includes a manual that will walk you through the basics. Each tool is operated with A, and you can use the plus button to switch between permits and path types. When you're using the path tool, pressing A on a plain grassy area will build a path, and then pressing A again will remove it. You can also use the grass tool to remove paths. Once you have a few path tiles next to each other, pressing A on them will first round the path, and then you'll have to press A again to remove it fully. You can use this to create rounded edges in various shapes. For example, to make circles on the ground, put 4 path tiles next to each other in a square, then hit A on each of them again to round them out. For hearts, do a bigger 3x3 square with 1 corner missing, and then round out the sides nearest to that empty corner. You can only dig into dirt, dark dirt, and sand paths, and you can plant flowers and trees on those paths too. All other paths are more solid, but you can still place items on top of them like you would grass, dirt, or sand. Keep in mind that fossils will only appear on grass, so it's not recommended that you totally cover your island in paths. Regular custom designs mostly work like any other path, but unlike regular paths, you can remove them at any time using Y, which is likely to be an accident and can be frustrating. Also, custom designs do lay flush with one another even if they're different. Because of this, you can make a more complex path using several different designs and use the plus button to switch between them as you go. Also, if your custom design has at least 1 transparent pixel, you can layer that design over the standard paths and it'll conform to the existing path shape. This way you can round out the edges of your custom designs like you would the regular paths. You just have to put down and shape a regular path first and then put your design over it. And if you change a custom design, any path you've put down using that design will change with it. This can make it easy to update your paths without having to redo all of them, but make sure you're editing the right ones. For waterscaping, pressing A on land will dig a trench for water. Pressing A again will fill up the trench, and as with paths, if you have a few tiles of water next to each other, pressing A will first round out the edges, and then, when pressed again, remove the water entirely. Waterscaping is the most finicky of the Island Designer tools, and it definitely takes practice. For example, to round out a sharp corner, you'll have to place your character a bit back from the edge. Your character can hop across any water feature that's 1 or 2 tiles wide. With this in mind, you can create land bridges across rivers without fully dividing the river. You can just fill in a piece of land in the middle of the river and jump across it. Villagers won't be able to cross rivers without bridges though. Also, make sure you leave enough river to fish in normally if you care about fishing. You'll want at least some river on a cliff section in order to catch clifftop only fish, and you'll want any river you hope to fish in to be a normal width, 3 or 4 tiles so you can get your bobber wherever you need it to go. Cliffs are built and destroyed from the level below them, and like with anything else, you can round them if you have multiple cliff pieces next to each other. You can build up to 3 tiers of cliffs on top of one another, but you won't be able to climb up the 3rd tier, and you can't build new tiers right up to the edge of the previous tier, meaning you can't make big cliff walls. Villagers won't be able to go up cliffs without an incline, so keep this in mind when placing villager houses on cliffs. To build waterfalls, you need to be up on the cliff you'd like the waterfall to go down. You can then use the waterscaping tool to build the waterfall at the edge. Keep in mind that you need to fill in the waterfall first before you can destroy the cliff it's on. That's everything you need to know about terraforming in Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you have any terraforming tips, be sure to share them in the comments below. And for more Animal Crossing guides, stay tuned to GameSpot.